concept of a New World Order has been a topic of discussion for decades, with many believing it to be a secretive and powerful group working to gain control over the world's population. Some argue that this group, often linked to satanic or occult ideologies, is using climate change propaganda as a tool to oppress and manipulate the masses. While this may seem like a far-fetched conspiracy theory, it is essential to examine the facts and explore the possibility of such a scenario. Climate change has become a pressing issue in recent years, with many governments, organizations, and individuals working to reduce carbon emissions and mitigate its effects. However, some argue that the threat of climate change has been exaggerated or distorted to serve the interests of a select few. The Satanic New World Order, if it exists, could be using climate change propaganda to create a sense of fear and urgency, allowing them to implement policies and regulations that would otherwise be met with resistance. One way this could be happening is through the manipulation of data and information. By selectively presenting statistics and research, the Satanic New World Order could be creating a misleading narrative about the severity of climate change. This would enable them to push for drastic measures such as carbon taxes, green energy initiatives, and sustainable development projects, which could ultimately lead to increased control over the population and the economy. Another strategy employed by the Satanic New World Order could be the use of climate change as a pretext for implementing a one-world government. By creating a global crisis, they could argue that a unified response is necessary to combat the threat, leading to the establishment of a centralized authority with unprecedented power. This would allow them to dictate policies, regulate industries, and monitor the activities of individuals, effectively stripping away national sovereignty and individual freedoms. The role of the media in perpetuating climate change propaganda is also crucial. Mainstream news outlets, potentially influenced or controlled by the Satanic New World Order, could be disseminating biased or misleading information to shape public opinion and sway policymakers. This would create a self-reinforcing narrative where the threat of climate change is constantly emphasized, and alternatives to the proposed solutions are dismissed or ignored. Furthermore, the Satanic New World Order could be exploiting the emotional aspect of climate change to create a sense of moral obligation among the population. By framing the issue as a matter of planetary survival and intergenerational justice, they could be manipulating people into accepting sacrifices and restrictions on their personal liberties, all in the name of saving the planet. This would allow the Satanic New World Order to impose their agenda, masquerading as a necessary response to a global emergency. It is essential to note that the idea of a Satanic New World Order using climate change propaganda to oppress the population is a highly speculative and contentious topic. While there may be some evidence to support this narrative, it is crucial to approach the issue with a critical and nuanced perspective, considering multiple viewpoints and evaluating the credibility of sources. In conclusion, the notion that the Satanic New World Order is using climate change propaganda to oppress the population is a complex and multifaceted issue. While it may seem like a conspiracy theory, it is essential to examine the potential mechanisms and strategies that could be employed to manipulate public opinion and shape policy. By being aware of these possibilities, individuals can make informed decisions, critically evaluate information, and resist any attempts to undermine their freedoms and autonomy. Ultimately, it is crucial to approach this topic with a discerning and open-minded perspective, recognizing that the truth may lie somewhere between the extremes of conspiracy and orthodoxy.